What's up YouTube? Today I want to show you my brand new preset pack, Wild for Zebralette 3. Let's dive in and have a look. So before we get started, I just want to talk about a few things with regards to Zebralette 3. It is a kind of like watered down version of Zebra, so there aren't extensive post effects and that kind of thing. There's just a delay and a reverb. So a lot of these presets in this pack do require a little bit of extra processing. So this pack is kind of designed a little bit more for the more advanced users who kind of know what they're doing with the post-processing side of things. That being said, most of the time it's just a little bit of distortion, a little bit of delay, and a little bit of reverb. Most of the time I've actually outlined a couple of ideas for what effects I think are going to work best with those particular sounds, and I've actually written that in the preset description. Another thing to note is, when the time that I'm actually releasing this pack, Zebralette 3 is still in beta, so there will still be a couple of improvements in terms of the optimization and that kind of thing. So I know that a couple of users do complain about CPU usage and that kind of thing. I know that those things will be fixed in the near future. So of course, Zebralette 3 is an additive synthesizer, so I really tried to take advantage of a lot of the features that make additive synthesis special. These kind of work really well with regards to more realistic kind of sounds, like recreating strings, mallets, and plucks, and that kind of stuff that has certain inharmonicities. It's also incredibly good for creating pads and interesting, very immersive textures. So this pack consists of quite a lot of that kind of stuff. Realistic sounds like marimbas, plucks, very deep pads and that kind of thing, alongside the good old staples that I often have in my sound packs like Cytrons basses, acid leads, and that kind of stuff. Firstly, let's have a look at some of the pads that are included in the pack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play each sound kind of just dry first, and then I'm going to show you what it sounds like with a bit of extra effects. Another thing that I want to mention is that a lot of the UHE plugins actually have this kind of secret macro thing built in using CC2 and CC11. So I've actually assigned those to controls on my MIDI controller so I can modulate the sound while I'm playing it, So in this particular preset, as you can see here in the description, I've suggested some big reverbs and granular effects. So let's hear what it sounds like with that kind of thing. And then with this is also with some granular big reverbs and stuff. Okay, so for the next couple of presets, I want to show you some of the kind of like more physical modeled pluck sounds. And for this, I'm just going to put on a little bit of Valhalla Supermassive, which is a free reverb. You should definitely get it if you don't have it already. And yeah, let's go through some of these pluck sounds. Okay, let's talk about some of these bass sounds. So we have here some traditional bass. So we have some traditional Psytrance bass presets, like the saw wave and a more proggy kind of square wave type of preset. But then we also have some more experimental stuff using the disperser kind of shape or multiband processing. But with these ones, you can actually use this curve morph to actually dial in a variety of different kind of timbres. So you can quickly dial in a bunch of different kind of tones that way. It's a similar thing with number 3 over here. And then there is a bunch of kind of more experimental growly basses, which I've been working on. I think Zebralette 3 is particularly good for these kinds of things. So what I want to do to show some of these off is actually just put on a little bit of distortion here. So I have a thing which I've created in Bitwig that I call my fat rack. It's basically a chorus, a distortion, and polyverse wider. But depending on, how you want this, sometimes you don't want that wider because, sometimes you don't want too much wide width on the bass. Anyway, these are some of the more experimental growly bass sounds in the pack. Okay, I'm not going to give all of it away though. Let's look at some of these leads. So it's usually a similar story with the leads. Nice distortion on there, works wonders. A bit of a delay as well also works wonders. And a little bit of reverb as well works wonders. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about in the pack is these OSC presets. So these are kind of designed to be oscillators or starting points for your own sounds. So these are everything from kind of like more FM based oscillator sources to recreations of a kind of disperser type thing to formant filters to all sorts of things like that. These all use that kind of hidden macro thing with the CCs, CC2 and CC11. So you can basically pull up, for example, OSC formant 1, and then just using those CC values, you can modulate the formant filter. Another thing I actually wanted to mention is that you don't need a MIDI controller to be able to do this. Most DAWs can actually just send CC messages directly, and in Bitwig, the MIDI CC device actually by default has CC 11 and 2 already open. Let me just turn that off for now, though. We can use the controller. So each of these formant filter oscillators is slightly different, has its own kind of character. So like these are great starting points for sound design, you know, say for example, take that kind of growl preset, put a distortion, some reverb and delay, maybe some EQ, and you've got like a kind of instant techno growl kind of thing, you know? So we're not going to go through all the sounds today. There is actually a free demo available with, I think, 10 of the sounds from the 100 original pack, which you can grab and check out if you are interested. And yeah, I think that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. And if you are thinking of picking up the pack, a huge thanks for the support. I'm going to post the links to where you can grab that in the description. yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.